the Taurus TX-22 SCR. Let's check it out. When Taurus introduced their TX-22, it definitely changed the rimfire market. Went from the standard 10-round magazine that we have seen in 22 pistols for the past 50 years plus, and they went to a 16+1 mag capacity, and that was huge. So then they introduced the TX-22 Competition model, and one of the big pluses for this handgun is that you actually mount a sight on the barrel. The barrel's fixed, and so when you fire the pistol and the slide comes back, the optic stays in that same focal plane. And so Taurus has just introduced their TX-22 Competition SCR, which stands for Steel Challenge Ready. This is in collaboration with Tandem Cross, which is a really high quality company making parts for rimfire. And with that, they've come out with a number of things they've added to this pistol just to make it faster to get on target. Now, the Taurus TX-22 SCR was part of the holiday gift guide that's presented by Getzone.com. And we had a number of different handguns, but really the Taurus TX-22 really stood out. And so I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a full review and let you check this out. Now let's go ahead and check to make sure that the gun is unloaded. We're going to drop our 16-round magazine, check the chamber, and the gun's empty. We will be showing some other guns. All of those have already been safety checked. One of the big things about the TX-22 right up front is the 16+1 mag capacity. Now this does come in a 10-round capacity for states that aren't so free, but this is a big game changer with the TX-22. But then taking that platform and moving it up to a competition-ready pistol. And that's what the SCR stands for, Steel Challenged Ready. You know, you can take a standard pistol and you can upgrade it. But with this one, I mean, it's already ready to go right out of the box. And this is a new offering from Taurus for their TX-22 line. But this is an evolution from the original TX-22, which is just a standard model, enclosed slide, kind of unique ejection port just on the side. A very ergonomic grip, and I really like this gun. I mean, this has really been a big success for Taurus, and this particular model was made in Miami, Florida, and that's one of the things they've done with the TX-22 line is they've moved production here in the U.S. Now, both of these competition models are made in Bainbridge, Georgia, and these were actually designed by U.S. engineers, and Taurus, over the past few years, has really taken some major steps to improve their guns and really come out with some pretty cool designs. So we're seeing an evolution with the TX-22 to the TX-22 Competition model and then the TX-2 SCR. This has just some advantages over the Competition model, which we've done a full review of both of these guns. But this just brings a brand new offering, and it just gives us more choices. Now, these have threaded barrels, but so does the original TX-22. In fact, right here you can see there's a thread protector. You can remove that, put an adapter on it, and you can run a suppressor with your standard TX-22. But with the new models, it comes with a little bit of a longer barrel, which the TX-22 has a 4.1-inch barrel. The competition models have a 5.25-inch barrel. And a lot of that has to do with the extension here. And the slide is just a little bit longer, and so it just gives you a little more balance. And guys, we are going to shoot each of these head-to-head just to give you an idea of the way they fire. Now here on the Competition SCR model, we do have one of the Holosun 509 RDs. This has the ACSS reticle and it's the Vulcan. ACS reticles are some of the best on the market, and Holosun has really made a name for itself, so I thought it would be suitable for this gun. But this has an optics mount directly attached to the barrel, and that's the way it is with a competition model as well. And so what that does is when the slide comes back during recoil, it doesn't move the focus of your sight. It stays in a fixed position. And so that is one of the big reasons, and very innovative design from Taurus. One thing too about this plate system is it comes with 2 different adapter plates, and each one has 2 options for red dots. So you have 4 different options that'll interface with your major optics companies. And so it gives you a lot of choices. And of course with this one, with the Holosun, it's also the RMR cut. But it also has a separate system in that plate, and then again 2 on the others. Also, we have this cutout open slide design, very similar to your Beretta. This is not something new, but it's definitely a weight saver here. Bull barrel inside, and it is a match grade barrel. But here on the front, we have one of the tandem cross, and this is the Game Changer Pro Square. This is a 45-degree redirecting gas compensator, and so it gives it a little bit of weight, but it also keeps the muzzle in a more flat position, and that way you can get really fast follow-up shots. And Tandem Cross is known for really high quality 22 aftermarket parts. Also inside is one of the Eagle Claw extractors. It's a tool hardened steel. It's very strong, very positive connection to the rim of your 22. Slide has a matte anodized finish to it. Very indescript really, except for the TX right here on the front. I really like that. The polymer grip, very well done, and it has nice texturing, this laser etch texturing all the way through around the grip itself. So it gives you a good solid grip. It seems to get right up in there where you can get a fairly high ride, even though this doesn't have a super low bore axis. Now it has a 3-dot sight set up. They do not co-witness with the sight, at least for this particular sight. It's a pretty large sight on the top. But even with the Holosun 507C, it does not co-witness. You know, you may be able to get some suppressor height sights to co-witness with this sight. Has a 2-slot Picatinny rail. Also has a squared trigger guard. Pretty decent size to it. One of the things I really like is this trigger, and we're going to take a look at it in a minute, but it's a single action only trigger. Then you can see these cutouts right here, and this allows for your thumb to rest right there on the frame, just giving you more control over the gun and also to help mitigate any kind of recoil. And of course, obviously, it being a 22 with a comp, it doesn't have any recoil. I mean, it is a very soft shooting gun. We have abbreviated front cocking serrations, and then we have rear cocking serrations that are directional. Also, we have a frame safety, but there is an option to go without the frame safety, at least on the standard TX-22 model, and they should follow up with this. Mag release right here above the trigger guard, drops those mags out. Very simple. And one great bonus is you do get 3 magazines with the pistol. They are polymer magazines, but they're very easy to load. And of course with 22, it's very simple. It has this little pull down button that makes it really fast. Nice base plate. Now it is a 5.25 inch bull barrel, match barrel. It's carbon steel. And this just helps to redistribute the weight, because one of the things about this handgun with the aluminum slide, it's a 70-75 T6 aluminum, and then with that polymer frame, it is very light toward the back end. A lot of your weight's up front, and that's really where you're going to be bringing it around to point to different targets and to get on target really quickly, and it does balance out the firearm. Also here at the bottom of the mag well, we have a little cutout to be able to pull that magazine out if you do have a malfunction. Now this is a polymer trigger. It's single action only. So we have take up right to here, hit a wall. Man, it is a nice crisp break. Reset right there. Resets really quick. Check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 4 pounds, 8.2 ounces. 4 pounds, 8.6 ounces. Very consistent. Weight on the Taurus SCR. 1 pound, 13 ounces. It's 23 ounces without the optic. We really appreciate Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA. one of the largest suppliers of ammunition in the country. And also, this is the Bulk 22. It's the high velocity. Very similar to CCI Mini Mags in performance. Good stuff. It comes in the bulk packs. We have some standard as well.
Tell you what, guys, after shooting those three just back to back, this definitely is super fast to shoot. Stays right on target. The other two are fine, they're fast. But there's something about that comp on the end, even in 22 long rifle, that really tames the recoil. I'm very impressed with it. I've found that standard velocity ammunition works really well in these. And that's what we were using, some Fiocchi standard. The high velocity, good stuff. We had a couple of issues with that, which surprised me. We went to the standard. We have had no malfunctions, and we put about 500 rounds through this one. The others, we've already done reviews on them. I love how that slide just reciprocates back and forth, and that sight just stays on that level playing field. So you don't lose your focus. I mean, you keep your focus right out there as you're firing. Very impressed with this little pistol. And you know, really, if you want to get a tandem cross, Pro Comp 2, you can put it on a standard competition. You're not going to get the Eagle Claw, but you definitely will get that really nice comp. It does make a big difference.
Now for disassembly, we're going to go ahead and release our magazine, check the chamber, it's unloaded. We can do it two ways. You can take off the compensator first, or we can take off the slide. And so we're going to take the slide off first. We're going to hit the trigger to disengage the striker. Pull back a little bit on your slide and pull down on your takedown tabs. And then push it forward and then up. It has little slots that correspond with your frame rails or slide rails that are in the frame. We're going to go ahead and remove our recoil spring and guide rod. And then of course we need to remove our compensator. And so just go ahead and twist it off. It is 1/2 by 28 threads, so it's really common. And it does have a rubber gasket to be able to lock that in. And I love that. It keeps it in that right position once you put it back on. Now we can just take our barrel straight out. Even with the red dot on it, it'll come out. And so that way you don't have to re-zero your red dot every time you clean your pistol. This slide is incredibly lightweight. And you do have a steel insert right here to protect when the barrel's moving back and forth. So that's a big plus. You don't want to damage this aluminum. Here with the frame, you can see that the lock here for the barrel, it makes it a fixed barrel design because it locks right into the barrel. And if you'll notice with the takedown levers, when you pull them down, it pulls down that little locking area. So you have to do that to reinsert your barrel. Guys, that's all you need to do to field strip for cleaning and maintenance. For reassembly, you just go back in reverse order. So we're going to go ahead and put our barrel back into the slide. Go ahead and attach your rubber O-ring, and then we're going to put in the tandem cross compensator. It'll set in the recesses of the comp. And then once you get it fairly tight, then you can just line it up with your slide. Now your guide rod has a flat surface at the back, so you want to set that against the barrel. And it goes in that first little notch right there. Now again, while reattaching your slide, you want to get it into that notch position, but then you want to pull down on your takedown levers and then just snap it. And once it locks in, it's good to go. It's really simple. Again, that slide just fits down. Just make sure that you have that, and if this is all lined up, you're set. Now the manufacturer suggested retail price without the optic is $589.32, and of course market price is going to be less. The standard competition model comes in at $533.33, and then the TX-22 original comes in at retail $348.49. 43 cents. And again, market price is going to be less. But guys, one of the big pluses for the SCR is the Tandem Cross Game Changer Pro 2. That's a big plus. I mean, it goes right there. There's a lot of benefits with the extra weight, with the 45-degree angle of the gases being spent to keep that muzzle in a flat position. Then also the Tandem Cross Eagle Claw extractor. Really, other than that, everything is pretty much the same as it is on your standard competition model. And so it just gives you, again, something that's ready right out of the box to be able to compete. And 22 competitions are growing in the U.S., and they're a lot of fun. They're fairly inexpensive. And these are just great platforms to where you can come in with a really high-grade pistol for a very reasonable price. And guys, if you could care less about competing, there's obviously the standard TX-22 that has proven to be a great design. Then if you want that in between, you've got the competition. So it's just nice to see a lot of options. So guys, if you want to pick up a 22 pistol that looks like a space gun, I mean, this is definitely a great option. But any of the TX-22 line, they're just great firearms. I've really enjoyed the TX-22, and a lot of the feedback that I get from viewers, I mean, it's TX-22 just has a lot of praises, which gives me a lot of confidence when I take it out to the range. There's nothing worse than taking a gun out to the range and it just not functioning. But then if one really hums, and then you've got 16 plus 1, I mean, that is a huge bonus. Take the CSR and you're ready for Steel Challenge, or you're ready for just a great day of plinking at the range. And again, we really appreciate Taurus for sending the TX-22 SCR, and also for Getzone for putting all this together. And check out Getzone. It is the strongest Second Amendment video platform out there. Rubber Dummies is one of the best training tools on the market, and you get a 10% discount using Sootch00 when you click the link down in the description. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Is 16 plus 1. Now the Taurus TX-22 SCR was part of the gift, was part of our Tandem Cross Game Changer Pro. You can load on Sunday and shoot till Monday.